Hi, my name is Jimmy, and I would like to tell you about an innovation game called Speedboat. This game was put together by Luke Homan in his book, Innovation Games. Luke's idea of these kinds of games is to really bring the customers and the product people together to focus on common problems and how they solve them together. Speedboat specifically is a game about looking at your impediments, looking at the problems your company may have. That's all it's about. It's not about solutions. It's a game to identify problems. There are many other games that you can play to solve the identified problems. The way Speedboat works is that you think of the product or the organization that you're working on or with as a speedboat. The idea is to move it as fast as possible, skimming through the water. And yet, there are anchors that are holding it back. We want to identify what those anchors stand for. Rather than just having a sort of general thought session about what the problems are, we identify them as specific anchors. Being specific helps the thinking processes of people when they are focusing on what is holding their speedboat back. So, we get everyone to focus together on what the problems are that act like anchors holding us back. Speedboat works like this. You draw a boat and draw some anchors, and you have everyone quietly write down what they think the problems are. You don't have to get into any dialogue in this part of the game. And that's quite important, because when you get a group of people in conversation, there's always seems to be one or two people with loud voices who dominate the conversation. And you may have a few people who just sit back and don't say anything. When you get people quietly writing, they get to think about their own perspective and what is a concern to them. It may not be a concern to other people, but that doesn't matter at this point. Next, we get each one to come up here and place their sticky notes on any of the anchors. But we still don't talk about them. Anyone can put them up in any order, and anyone can come up and read the things that are up there. Once you have gotten your points up there, there's a sense of relief. The next stage of the game, and quite an important step, is to group these problems. You end up creating a kind of mega anchors or meta anchors when you group like ideas together. And that's pretty much what has happened here. People here got into small groups of 2 or 3, and each group took a particular section and tried to come up with a single description that encapsulated the ideas within that section. And that helps us to minimize the number of problems that we're looking at in order for us to then prioritize them. If you are looking at 100 things, it is overwhelming. But if you're looking at 5 things, you get a very clear idea about what is important to work on next. So that is the direction we're going in this game. Now this bunch of sticky notes here is almost 10 in number, and they became one single sticky note, one single description of the overall problem. This is not really what needs to be done about it, but a clarification about what the problem is. So we've gotten a few of these, which are now the key things to focus on. The next stage of the game will be to remove all the other stuff and just be able to focus on these few things that are up there. What people often try to do while playing this game is to get to solutions. This is not the right thing to do. There are many other innovative games which help you arrive at a solution. This is in line with Edward de Bono's concept of thinking hats. The idea that a group can put on the same hat and can have the same kind of group thinking. Focusing on the difficulties we're having at the moment, we're all thinking about identifying causes together, rather than having half the group focusing over here and half the group focusing over there. Speedboat helps you to get a group focus on issues that you need to talk about. It's also very simple and lots of fun.